Hello and welcome to this micro presentation. The traditional device to demonstrate sound propagation through air comprises a transparent bell, a sound source, a pump, and a flat base. It first allows the air inside the bell to remain at atmospheric pressure and lets students perceive the loudness of the sound produced by the sound source inside the bell. Next, air is pumped out of the bell so that students perceive a reduction in loudness, thereby aiming to demonstrate that sound propagates through air. My reservation is that the loudness of sound perceived by a person outside the bell is undesirably low in the first place, even before the air is pumped out of the bell. This is because our ears are outside the bell, and unfortunately, the bell blocks the sound from traveling out of it to some extent. Moreover, as the air is pumped out of the bell, the atmospheric pressure outside the bell causes it to press harder against the flat base, thereby strengthening the sound blocking effect. Therefore, the sound blocking effect of the bell is an extraneous variable in the experiment. This variable should be eliminated to make the experiment scientifically more rigorous, with the amount of air being the only variable that we are to change, and the loudness of sound being the variable to evaluate. Decades ago, when I was a student, I thought of temporarily pulling out my ear and putting it in the bell in order to eliminate the extraneous variable mentioned above. But that appeared to be an unrealistic wish at that time. In today's technology-driven world, many difficult tasks in the old days are now achievable, and we are only limited by our imagination and fine thoughts. Of course, I still cannot have my ear temporarily relocated, but I can put a sound sensor, which is basically an electronic ear, inside the bell. Look, the base of our dedicated vacuum kit has a sound sensor and a buzzer, both of which facing each other. How do we remove the air surrounding the sound sensor and the buzzer? Simply use a cup and a palm, commonly used by Chinese physicians. As soon as the buzzer is switched on, not only can the buzzer sound be clearly heard, but the amplitude of the sound waveform captured by the sound sensor also increases greatly from zero. When the cup is placed on the base, the loudness of the buzzer sound reduces significantly, but the amplitude of the sound waveform does not reduce, but increases somewhat instead. This is because the sound reflected by the inner surface of the cup enhances the sound traveling directly from the buzzer to the sound sensor. Now, let's pump the air out of the cup. Look, the amplitude of the sound waveform reduces significantly. This then truly proves that sound propagates through air. Nevertheless, no matter how hard we pump out the air, the amplitude of the sound waveform remains at a finite level and will not fall to zero. Why is this so? Look at the setup carefully. The sound sensor and the buzzer are placed on the same platform and are hence connected to each other. Then, what does the fact that the amplitude of the sound waveform not falling to zero, despite air surrounding the sensor and buzzer being removed to a very large extent, indicate? I would say it gives a hint that sound can propagate through the solid material constituting the platform. Traditional teaching aids invented by our predecessors definitely have their own merits. With the spirit of rigor and innovation, teachers of our generation should continually add value to traditional teaching aids to facilitate high quality inquiry and deep learnings that are very much needed today. Thank you very much for your attention.